What's up, LIV people? Welcome to your most talk about you, friendly, educative, and informative radio talk show. Let's talk about sex.
Setting the page for today's discussion, we are discussing love, sex, and condom negotiation.
And on the question of condom for sexually active young people, is it really important? And if it is, how can we persuade or convince our partner to use a condom whenever they want to have sex? Family planning helps protect your future because your future is worth more than any other thing. It's worth more than your partner, worth more than the sex that you're going to have, worth more than any other thing. So go ahead, go for your family planning.
So in that light, what are the consequences of having unprotected sex? What are some of the consequences?
One of our most rampant discouraging situation we have in Liberia, which is teenage pregnancy. It doesn't exactly have to be a teenager because grown-ups can have sex without condom too, but mostly these days we find more teenagers getting pregnant than older ones.
So Jeremy, what are other consequences you can get after having unprotected sex?
There are a lot of disadvantages, like it comes along with illnesses, a lot of STI and STDs. I think it should be our major concern than just the pregnancy because probably a female might not be during her fertilized period to conceive a pregnancy, but she might be vulnerable to an illness that the male is carrying and vice versa.
George, do you want to add up?
Yeah, I would like to say there are consequences and there are consequences. There are certain consequences that you could correct along the way and you don't regret the past so much. But there are consequences that you will also look back with a lot of regrets.
Make smart choices, make wise decisions. Never go ahead having unprotected sex. Please use your condom correctly and consistently. We look at condom, it's not only used to prevent pregnancy, it's also used to prevent you from getting STIs and HIV and AIDS. Let me just do a little demonstration of the proper usage of condom. Make sure you open the condom with what? Okay. You tear the condom slowly. Make sure it does not tear. When you come it down, you hold a small place here so the sperm will be able to sit down inside. Then you place the condom on the penis and you roll it down slowly. Roll it down slowly. So, Lida, let me just ask you, what if you have a boyfriend and then the issue of sex comes up and you tell him, if he can't use a condom, then I don't think we are going to have sex, and he's still pressurizing you to have unprotected sex. What are some of the things you are going to tell him to persuade him to use a condom?
I might just say that you cannot force me to do something I don't want to do in the first place. And secondly, it's unprotected. Come on, there are like a thousand wrongs that could go on right there. So me having sex with you without protection, I'm gonna tell you, if you love me, you have to do this with the condom. Without the condom, there's no deal.
Well, for me, that's her view. I want to get a view from Jeremy because it happened in both ways. People should not just feel that only boys pressurize girls to have sex.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Yeah. So Jeremy, suppose your girlfriend pressurizes you to have sex. So what would be your own decision on that, in line with using condom or just abstaining?
To be frank, at a certain point in time, we all get pushy to do something. And based on the kind of force, women get really intense when it comes to sex, man. They get intense more than men. Because the people have that kind of ego that is very, very hard to satisfy.
So what if you try to tell your girl, I love you, and I just want to protect everybody, and she says, oh, you don't love me? What would be your reaction?
Yeah, I know, because she will be like, probably you come from having sex someplace else. That's definitely what she's going to say to you. And me, I say, okay, so you want it? So, I'm just going to go into it, man.
So protected or unprotected?
Unprotected, I'm just going to go into it.
So you're trying to say if the girl keeps not beating you, say, I want to have that, you going to go on having unprotected sex?
One person only takes something for a certain length of time. After that, everybody have that limit, man.
But do you know the risks associated with what you're going to do?
Of course I do. For every action, I
So
mean,
you be
There's an
ready to
equal
take the
and
blame.
opposite reaction.
yeah.
I guess,
Opposite reaction.
sis Linda, I guess you want to give a mother, a mother and professional opinion on that.
I like his frankness. He's real.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little more comfortable for our listeners out there, especially parents, to understand that we have a role to play. And that role is to give our kids the time that they need to understand some of these things. It's very important, but the truth is that if it comes to this and you find yourself in a situation where nobody has really educated you enough on it, it becomes difficult not to give in. So they give in.
So what advice do you have for the young people who are listening to us today to stay sexually active in their relationships?
My advice will be abstinence. That is the best. Because this has to do with natural emotions, which sometimes you can't control. So I will advise them to abstain.
Jeremy, what's your advice?
My advice, most especially go to the boys, man. Everybody should go out there and buy yourself a lot of condoms. Because you need it.
That is if you are sexually active.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Leader?
Well, I'm going to have to go with what Sister Linda said again. But then again, if you cannot abstain, what Jeremy said, the best thing you can do, buy yourself a condom.
My message to boys out there is that mainly in Liberia, you see a lot of young people make the mistake of just getting to sex without properly planning. You see, family planning is just about planning about how you want your family one day to live. And I believe that you want one day to drive your child, to school. You want to be able to prepare lunch for them. You want to be able to help them with their lessons and not be able to give them that basic love and care will prevent them from having the future that they need to have.
Well, this is how we draw down the curtains for today's edition. Thanks so much to our guests for being here and you, the listeners out there. My name is Whitney Davis and I've been here with
Gerald Hodges.
Bye-bye.